Herzlich willkommen zu deinem Lieblingspodcast, dem Bewohnerfrei-Podcast und zu dieser für mich ach so besonderen Folge. Wir haben ja hier schon ein paar hundert unterschiedliche Podcasts gehört und Interviews und zu dem, was jetzt kommt, kann ich nur sagen, dass ich dir jetzt gleich mein größtes Idol vorstellen darf. Mein Celebrity Twin, die Person, die mich in meinem Leben mit am meisten geformt hat. Geformt in einer Weise, die ich mir damals bei unserer ersten Begegnung nie hätte vorstellen können, was es doch ausmacht, wenn du einen Menschen triffst, der dir einen Satz, eine Stunde seiner Zeit schenkt, wie es doch dazu kommen kann, dass sich ein Leben, ein Weg eines Lebens wirklich verändert. Sei es nur ein Grad, sei es nur ein ganz kleiner Schritt in eine andere Richtung und ein paar Jahre später stehen wir dann an einem Ort, den wir uns zu dem Zeitpunkt der Begegnung nicht mal hätten erträumen können. Und gleich hörst du hier mein Idol, Les Brown. Für mich der beste, größte und offenherzigste und großherzigste Speaker dieser Welt. Und ich habe die große Ehre gehabt, ihn zu interviewen. Und darauf habe ich jahrelang gewartet. Ich hatte schon ewig seinen Kontakt im Handy, aber bis es dann soweit kam, dass ich ihn wirklich zusammen mit Greator und meinem Freund Alexander Müller interviewen durfte, sind Jahre vergangen. Aber ich bin einfach dran geblieben und habe immer wieder den Kontakt aufrechterhalten, habe immer wieder gefragt, is there anything I can do for you here in Germany? Und jetzt hast du gerade schon eine andere Sprache gehört. Ja, die Folge, die gleich kommt, die ist auf Englisch. Und klar, er ist US-Amerikaner. Und ich möchte dir, bevor diese Folge beginnt, noch eine Geschichte erzählen. Wir spulen ein paar Jahre zurück. Tobias Beck war weder bekannter Speaker noch Bestseller-Autor, schon gar nicht Spiegel-Bestseller-Autor. Und den Bewohnerfrei-Podcast, den gab es auch noch nicht. Sondern ich war Moderator einer Veranstaltung. Ich habe viele, viele Jahre moderiert, um zu verstehen, wie Bühne und Menschen in einem Raum funktionieren und mit dem Traum dahinter, eines Tages mal selbst derjenige zu werden, der von anderen anmoderiert wird. Aber um von jemandem anmoderiert zu werden, muss ich doch erstmal anmoderieren, um zu verstehen, in welchen Schuhen derjenige dann läuft. Und es war eine Veranstaltung in Deutschland im Namen einer der ganz großen Plattformen für Persönlichkeitsentwicklung auf dem internationalen Markt. Und auf dieser Veranstaltung waren eine Menge großer Speaker. Und zu denen habe ich aufgeschaut. Und du merkst, jetzt ist mir gerade schon das erste Mal die Stimme weggebrochen, weil was mich unfassbar traurig gemacht hat, nein, es hat mich angekotzt, mit welcher Arroganz und mit welchem Ton hinter der Bühne mit einigen Menschen dort umgegangen ist. Unter anderem mit mir als Moderator. Unter anderem mit den Menschen, die dort den Tee ausgeschenkt haben, die das Catering gemacht haben. Und noch mehr schockiert haben mich die Gespräche einiger Speaker, wo es nur darum ging, wie viel Provision can I sell to the Germans. Und ich fand das so unfassbar ätzend. Und dann kam er. Und die Tür ging auf und Les Brown ging in den Raum hinein. Und währenddessen die Tür aufging, ging mein Herz in die Hose und in meine Schuhe. Und mein ganzes Selbstbewusstsein war dahin und ich wusste überhaupt nicht mehr, was ich sagen sollte. Und ich bin dann zu ihm hingegangen und habe gesagt, Mr. Brown, is there anything I can do for you? I'm the host, I'm the MC, the Master of Ceremony. I would like you to feel wonderful in Germany. Welcome to our country. Willkommen in unserem Land. Kann ich irgendetwas für Sie tun? Und dann hat er mich so angeguckt und der lacht ja immer so herzlich und hat gelacht. Und dann wusste ich nicht, was ich sagen sollte und dann habe ich ihm Tee angeboten und ich habe so schnell geredet. Wenn ich aufgeregt bin, dann rede ich immer schnell. Ich weiß nicht, ob du das kennst. Einige reden dann gar nicht mehr oder reden Blödsinn oder machen blöde Witze. Wenn ich aufgeregt bin, rede ich schnell. Und dann habe ich gesagt, Mr. Brown, do you want tea? We have, und kennst du das, wenn du in dem Moment kein Englisch mehr kannst? Ich habe gesagt, we have peppermint tea and Hagebutte. Oh, what's Hagebutte? We have any kind of tea, green tea, black tea, what tea? Und er hat mich angeguckt und hat sich totgelacht und hat gesagt, I don't drink tea. Und dann hat er gelacht und jetzt kommt dieser Moment, den ich in meinem Leben nicht vergessen werde. Dann hat er die Hand auf meine Schulter gelegt und hat gesagt, come with me, my friend. Und dann ist er mit mir in seine Garderobe gegangen und hat mich eine Stunde lang kostenlos, voller Liebe, voller Geben gecoacht. Hat mir gesagt, dass ich ein Buch brauche, dass er mir helfen wird, eines Tages das Buch in den USA zu promoten. Er hat mir gesagt, dass ich mir verschiedene große Speaker holen soll als Vorbild, nicht nur einen, um meine Persönlichkeit auszubauen und nicht zu verlieren. Und diese Stunde hinter der Bühne des Gebens von einem solchen Rockstar in meiner Welt, das hätte ich weder erwartet und ich werde es in meinem ganzen Leben nicht vergessen. Und in dem Interview, was du jetzt hörst mit Les Brown, darf ich mich für diese Stunde bedanken, weil unter anderem durch ihn und durch seinen Input, durch seinen Impuls sind dann die letzten Bücher entstanden und unter anderem die Rede deines Lebens. Jetzt muss ich mal gucken, ob ich hier spontan das Foto mit ihm finde, weil ich habe dann dort an diesem Tag mit ihm ein Foto machen dürfen. Da ist es. Mein Celebrity Twin, Les Brown, in dem Buch Die Rede deines Lebens. Danke an Greator, danke an Alexander Müller und thank you, Les Brown. You changed my life forever.
Welcome, Les, to have you on our show at Greator. I'm here with Tobias Beck. Very happy to have you on our Greator Festival in October. And it's great that you already have some time today to talk about you, today to talk about the relationship you have to Tobias and Tobias to you. And let's talk about what we can expect from you in October on our Greator Live Festival. You are in Atlanta, is that right?
Yes, I am. Atlanta, Georgia. And so this is the time. We have some restrictions because of the coronavirus, but you make the adjustments and you make it work for you.
Yeah. To be honest, Tobias, I met him before when he spoke in front of 15,000 people on our events, and he was really nervous in front of these events, holding a speech. But today he's even more nervous as usual because he meets you. Why that, Tobias?
I don't know if you remember, Les. Last time we met was in Stuttgart, and I was a host of an event, an MC, and you told me to write a book. And I did it, which is here. And here's a picture of you and I in the book. And the chapter is called Celebrity Twin. So pretty much everything you say, I can just talk at the same time because I've seen all your programs and I'm just very, very excited that you are coming to Germany. It is a very, very big honor. And thank you for motivating me and thousands of other people to write books and to get our message across.
Well, I've got to interview you on my Facebook Live. I have over 1,300,000 people. So I want to interview you and promote you.
Thank you.
I want to write the forward for it.
Yeah, it was very difficult to get in touch with you, but I put it on the market anyway because you told me just do it, and you took,
Yes, but you're going to also republish too. After you sell these, you're going to have some more printed up.
Of course. I mean, after we are in the Facebook Live, I need to republish. But my first question is, Les, and this is why you are my celebrity twin. When you talk to people, you make them feel very, very special. When I was the MC of this event, I was a nobody. Nobody knew me. And you took time backstage to talk to me and to give me advice. How do you do that? To take time, everybody is nervous, you were close to going on stage and you took time for me.
I was working to find how could I get into the speaking industry. And I saw this guy that I had admired for years. And I approached him backstage and I said, "Sir, I'd like to meet you, because I'm interested in doing what it is that you do." And he looked at me with such disdain and contempt. And he didn't say anything. And he just walked away. There's an old saying, you can judge a lot about a person's character based upon how they treat someone that they consider insignificant. And as he walked away, I said to myself, Lord, when I make it, any of your children that I can help, that I can have a moment with, and be able to let them know that they have something special, they have greatness in them. When I make it, I will never treat anyone like I have just been treated. I will always create moments so I can talk with them, just as I talk to you. Wow. And so that drives me. I remember giving a presentation at a major corporation, and all of these various speakers who had been in the industry for years, they were there with all of their electronic equipment, and they had their PowerPoints. And I had a cardboard visual aid rolled up with a rubber band around it. And so I looked at all of their equipment. I was the only one who had no equipment, just a rolled up visual aid that I had created that night before. I went to the bathroom and I said, Les Brown, you are not intimidated by them. This is your time. You have some value. You can make some impact. And we had to go into a room to present before this panel. So I put my visual aid in the trash can. I went in the room. I was the only one that came in there and had no PowerPoint presentation. So the person who asked me the question, who was hosting it, he asked, where's your PowerPoint? I said, I am the PowerPoint. And he dropped his head like this. And he said, I can't believe this. And so the other members on the panel started asking me questions. And when they finished, I said, they said, is there anything else? And they said, no. And I turned to walk out, and he said, Mr. Brown, the reason that I dropped my head, I couldn't believe this. He said, when I was 6 years old, my mother saw you at an airport, and she spoke to you, and you kneeled down and looked me in the eyes and said, what is his name? And she said, Earl. And he said, I said to him, come closer. I see greatness in you. Wow, do you see this? I see greatness in you. And she said, yes. I said, you're going to make your mother proud. Oh, my goodness. And I hugged him, and I said, thank you so much for this opportunity for me to hug greatness. Wow. And walked away and got my flight. He said, I never forgot that. And I never thought I would ever see you again in person. And I am the chairman of this committee, and this is your contract. You can hire the other ones as subcontractors if you want to.
Wow. What an impact in somebody's life.
Yeah. Les, yes. You just published a book, You Gotta Be Hungry. And I have two questions on that. First of all, I heard that you wrote 20 years on that book. Why so long? And the second question, why is it important to be hungry?
Well, the first question is, I just had so much in me, and I would start and stop, and I was rethinking. You evolve from various things that you see and experience, and I had gone through so much more than what I've written about in the past. And so finally, I decided, I had a deciding moment to get it completed. But what I mean by hunger, it's a resilient, purpose-driven mindset to live a life that will outlive you. And so the reason that hunger is important, 1% of the wealth, the wealth is controlled by 1% of the population. The people that break through, the people who did not inherit the wealth, the people who make themselves stand out in spite of the odds, in spite of the circumstances, in spite of a culture that is designed to marginalize them and to oppress them or to keep them down. These are people that are hungry. These are people that they have this resilient, purpose-driven mindset that refuses to be denied. And they're going to come back again and again and again until they break through. Hunger is very important in any and every area of your life to achieve goals, to improve your health. I'm a 4th-stage prostate cancer conqueror for the past 27 years to make a difference with your life. Horace Mann said, we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. And so hunger is just, it's crucial. It allows you to do the greater work. That's why you're having the Greater Conference. And I am so glad and honored to be a part of it. These things ye shall do, and greater things shall ye do. So this is very inspiring for me. This is in alignment with the purpose of my life.
I just saw an interview that you gave for a TV station in the US, and she also asked you, because you are at a stage of your life where many people just go for retirement. They're on the couch, on the golf court, and even you just described it with the disease that you got diagnosed. You are more present than ever. You're getting your message across. Where do you get your hunger from?
And the amazing energy everybody's experiencing.
And that energy.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, February 17th, I turned 75. And so where it comes from, my mother was unstoppable. She took me and 6 other brothers and sisters in as foster kids, and then ultimately she adopted us. And she went to work. I remember she would get up in the morning and say, "Oh, Arthur's bothering me." And I'd say, "Mama, who's Arthur?" She said, "Don't worry. You live long enough, you'll find out." And she was talking about arthritis. Okay. And now I know. And so she went to work in spite of the discomfort, in spite of the pain, in spite of her swollen knees. She went to work to take care of, feed, provide shelter and clothing for 7 kids that she did not give birth to. And she's been my hero. We gave her a Mother's Day card, and Father's Day, we gave her a Father's Day card too, because she was Mama and Daddy all wrapped in one. And I'm truly Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. I always say all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mother. And she has been an inspiration for me on this side of life and on the other side of the life. She's a gift that keeps on giving.
So when you will speak for the Greator Festival, for the biggest German audience ever in the coaching industry in our market, can you then, not now, but please tell the story with the radio? I will just seed it now so everybody is going to be on, because that story that you share just inspires me every single day. And you are just, for me and for so many people, a very, very big role model. And can you please make me the promise and tell that story at the Greator Festival in autumn? Will you do that?
Absolutely, and I'm so
I want to hear it now. What are you doing?
Yes, I'm going to do that. You got to be hungry.
Oh, yes, you got to be hungry.
I'm going to bring the heat of the passion. I'm going to get the butter from the duck.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's going to be amazing. We will have a lot of people on, and it is a very, very big honor for us also to introduce you further to the German-speaking market.
Yeah. I mean, you have a lot of fans here. I'm very thankful that also your friend Bob Proctor is part of the program, John Todorico. So there will be some other amazing guys. John Strulecki will be there, James Doty, Gary Vaynerchuk, and of course many German top speakers as Toby, Stefan Friedrich, Laura Seiler, and many others. And great to have you on our show in October as well. Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Oh, thank you. I am honored to be here to serve you, and trust me, I'm going to serve you. I'm hungry to talk to you and make you proud.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I mean, we really have special times right now when it comes to COVID and other. I mean, you are in the US now. Right now, there are even much more challenges you are facing right now than we in Europe. Also for other reasons. In these special times, which advice can you give to the people? How to find inner strengths, how to deal with all these challenges, how are you dealing with it in your situation, and which other recommendation you can give to others to deal with these challenges?
This is the time that we want to be concerned, but not consumed with fear. In fearful moments, Zig Ziglar said this, most people, the majority of people, forget everything and run. But there are a few people, like the people at this conference, that know that there's a greater force, a greater energy, a greater presence in them that will allow them to overcome this. Viktor Frankl says that adversity introduces a man to himself, and that includes women as well. And so what I encourage people to do is first get still. You want to be concerned. You want to practice social distancing and from people and the refrigerator. But you don't want to be consumed with fear. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. And so you want to focus. You want to create what I call collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. Because your ability to make it through this period where we are, this has not come to stay, it's come to pass, that it will be determined more about the people that you're connected with than the people that you're divided from. So creating collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships is very important at this time more than ever. And focusing on what will it take for you to reinvent yourself, to be flexible and adaptable, to embrace this new landscape and be triumphant in spite of. The people who have that kind of mindset. Somebody said the three types of people that will come out of this: millionaires, billionaires, and witnesses. Those who just stand by and watch. But there's some people, the people who know that greater work shall ye do, that these are the people that will be millionaires, the inventors, the people who are initiating new innovation and new leadership and living a more impactful life rather than just seeing themselves as victims. But the people who see this as a cocoon, doing the work that's necessary, the transformative work to reinvent themselves. Einstein said, the thinking that has brought me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. And so now we have to do the inner work so that when we come out, when we emerge, we will soar rather than crawl.
Wow. How does that inner work I can do daily when I have challenges, when I have fear? How does that inner work look like?
When I get up in the morning, the first thing I say, Lord, whatever I face today, together you and I can handle it. And I say that 7 times. Whatever I face today, together you and I can handle it. I also write down 7 things that I am grateful for. And I take the time and I think about that, because every day is the best day of your life. If you don't believe it, try missing one. Next thing that I do, I look at the goals that I want to achieve out of the day that I wrote down the night before. And then I read 30 to 40 pages of something positive to fortify myself on the inside. There's an African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. And then I listen to audio programs and watch them on YouTube. If they go on YouTube and put in Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome, where I'm speaking to over 80,000 people, or Getting Unstuck, or You Deserve, or It's Possible, and I talk about the bamboo tree. Whatever you listen to and read, the first 20 minutes when you wake up in the morning, it will affect the spirit of your day. Now that spirit, that energy will guide you to doing the greater work rather than focusing on things that will not strengthen you, that will not push you forward. Whatever you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. But when you say to yourself, this is my time, I've got another day to do the greater work, that my best work has not been done yet, and leave your house, or virtually leave your house, and think in terms of what's the greater work that I can do. When I speak to audiences, I always ask them, how many of you know that if you had your life to live over again, you could have done more than what you've done? And I raise my hands along with them. And then most people raise their hands. And then I ask another question. If you know that you could have done more than what you have done before. That's the greater work. Now it's necessary that you raise the bar, have goals beyond your comfort zone. Because in order to do something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been. And reaching for those goals will introduce you to a part of yourself that you don't know right now. So commit yourself to doing the greater work.
Wow. Thank you so much for taking the time. Once again, you're motivating so many people. And I got asked in an interview a couple of weeks ago, who motivates the motivator? And in my case, it's you, and it will be millions more in the German-speaking market. And we know that you have to go, and we will watch you and see whatever you do, and see you in October.
See you in October.
Thank you so much. I'm hungry to make you proud. Thank you so much. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy saying it's been a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to do the greater work.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you in October. See you at the Greater Festival Online.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.